Have you ever thought about the existence of aliens in this universe? Are there aliens on our Earth? Are there any UFOs that we call unidentified flying objects? Are there UFOs we see so much mention in movies? What kind of footage comes in front of us? But now, I will show you a footage. This is not a story. This is not a story. This is official footage. And this official footage is not of any conspiracy channel. This is of the Pentagon. On the 8th of May 2026, the US Department of War released 162 files, and these files are of aliens, UFOs, classified military encounters, astronauts' transcripts, FBI memos, reports of military pilots, all at one place. And as soon as these files were released, US President Donald Trump said, "The American people can now decide for themselves what the hell is going on." I have been thinking for a long time to make a video about aliens and UFOs. Because whenever I think of UFOs, Area 51 immediately comes to my mind. Whenever I talk about these places, I have to think about Antarctica. Because these are all the places where it is said that something is being hidden here. And sometimes I think, what are the people hiding here? And then there is a question that worries me the most. And that question is, why are these files being released now? Why only in 2026? No government releases anything like this for no reason. There is an agenda, there is a plan. And when you understand that plan, the reality of these files and their story will change for you. Let's understand what the story is. These 162 files released by the Department of War have no confirmed aliens in them. There is no recovered spacecraft. There is no proof that any extraterrestrial civilization has come to this world. The Pentagon itself has said that these are unresolved cases. So if these are not confirmed, then why are they being released? Why is the drama of maximum transparency being done? For this, you will have to go back a little in the past. You will have to go back to 1994. Because in 1994, a Canadian journalist, Sergei Monast, presented a theory called Project Bluebeam. Now, I have already given you videos about Project Bluebeam. I have mentioned it in many videos. But let's quickly talk about that in this video. In this theory, he said that the plan of the world's global elites is to stage a fake supernatural or alien event using advanced holographic technology. They want to do all this together all over the world so that three things can happen. First is that the existing religion can be destroyed, so that people say that whatever we did, learned, followed the religion, it was all wrong. Look, the aliens have come and how much power they have. Secondly, spread a global panic so that people get frustrated with their lives and problems, get tired of the existing system and accept defeat. And third is that a resolver should come, a resolver that becomes a global leader. A new world order should come in which everything is fixed. This was just a theory in 1994. But in 2024, thousands of mysterious drones came in the air in New Jersey and New York. And the FBI said that we don't know what happened. And Project Bluebeam started trending. 7.8 million views came on a tweet by the Pentagon. In 2026, the Pentagon released 102 alien files. And Donald Trump himself said, "What the hell is going on? What does it mean?" It means spread a controlled panic. Selective disclosure. Reveal one thing, hide the rest. Ask questions, but don't answer. And you have to see all this from an Islamic lens. What did the Prophet say about the Dajjal? And when I think about the Dajjal, I think it will be a being who will give a solution to those people who are losing their lives, who are tired of problems, who are disappointed with the existing system. There will be a power, a presence, and according to the true Muslim, there will be mountains of bread near the Dajjal. There will be rivers of water. That is, he will come with a solution to the material problems, and people will believe in it. Just think, if the fear of aliens will be present in the first world, the existing system will collapse, questions will be raised on the existing religion, and then an extraordinary being will come, then people will either ask who he is or directly follow him. I am not saying that Project Bluebeam will happen. I am asking that if this plan of deception is implemented, then how will it be seen? And are we ready for it? But before understanding this preparation, I take you to a place which has been the center of all this conspiracy for 70 years. And you know that place by the name of Area 51. In the desert of Nevada, the state of America, in the Groom Lake, America's largest secret base is present. And for 50 years, the government said that Area 51 does not exist. Then in 2013, the CIA confirmed that yes, it does. And here we test you two spy planes. The CIA's official statement was that it was just a testing site for planes. U-2, A-12, Oxcart, F-117 Stealth, we used to test them. That's why it was a secret. And many UFO sightings that people have reported, it was actually the flight of experimental planes. Because that technology was not in the public domain, that's why people thought it was extraterrestrial. Now, this official explanation seems complete, and it also feels that maybe it is complete. But you have noticed one thing, that even in 2026, Area 51 is a restricted military zone. There is no satellite imaging, no journalist has access, no independent inspection has been done. And if it was just a testing site for old spy planes, then what is the point of hiding it now? And here I will tell you another interesting story. This story is from 1979 when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went to the moon. It was the biggest moment of humanity. But you have noted one thing, that NASA, which achieved all this, it was the same NASA who had 3 astronauts in Apollo 1 who were burned alive. And in just 2.5 years, the successful mission of the moon was completed. So that technology, which cannot be reproduced even today, that technology was present with them. In 2024, NASA continued its work on the Artemis program. Now this NASA program has spent $93 billion. This is their latest moon mission, and after 55 years, it is not possible to go to the same destination. Can you imagine that? I'm not saying that the moon landing was fake. I have made a detailed video about it. And I have left this question for you that you have to decide whether it is fake or not. I'm just saying that there is a question in this inconsistency which should be raised. And one more thing which should be asked, that NASA's own transcript of Apollo 17, which is included in these 162 files which have just been released. In that, the astronaut has had some discussion with mission control which is still redacted. So it is partially classified but partially redacted. After going to the moon, after 53 years, it is still being hidden. I am not anti-science. I am not anti-progress. But I am that person who asks that when the world's most powerful government can hide a military base for 50 years, then imagine what else has it hidden from you. But even today, the place which is restricted and inaccessible is not the only place. There is another place about which aliens are talked, UFOs are talked, and you know the name of that place. The name of that place is Antarctica. Just think that there is a continent in the world where tourists are restricted. There is military-grade infrastructure on research stations. Satellite imaging is restricted and no government allows independent inspection, and the name of that place is Antarctica. Now there are many theories about Antarctica, about aliens, about UFOs, which I will discuss in the next video. But in today's video, let's ask another question, and that question is, when we talk about UFOs, aliens, is it that they are jinn about whom we do not know? Then another question will come to mind, that what are these jinn in reality? Now here I ask you a question. If you tell someone that there are jinn in Islam, then most of the people will think about jinn. They will think jinni, lamp, wish or some cartoons. And that is a completely wrong framework, because the concept of jinn is towards such a being in Islam which was on this earth before us, exists with us and still exists in Quran. Surah Al-Hijr ayat 27, Allah Almighty said, and before this we created jinn from smokeless fire, nare sumum, smokeless fire, an energy form, a vibration, a formula of creation which does not fit in the existing vocabulary of physics. This description is going to notice carefully that jinn have some core characteristics in Islam. First, that they are parallel to us on this earth. such a dimension where they are hidden from us, but they can see us. The root word of jinn in Arabic means to hide, to be concealed, a parallel world. Second, their lifespan is much more than our lifespan. They live for thousands of years. And third, some of them are Muslims and some are not. They also answer in front of Allah like us. And fourth, some of them are devils and some are not. They can shapeshift and can adopt different forms from Al-Mustadrak. There is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad in which Prophet Muhammad said that jinn are of three types. One is those who have wings and they fly in the air. Second type is in the form of snakes and dogs. And third type is that which comes and goes, suddenly appears, suddenly vanishes. Now where, UFOs, unidentified flying objects. There is another terminology which is very common, which is called UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. This is a phenomenon which is not understood. You see in space, you see in water, you see in air, which cannot be described. Now keep this in mind and listen further stories in 2024 Harvard University and Montana University academic peer-reviewed paper which is called the Crypto-Terrestrial Hypothesis, a case for scientific openness for a concealed earthly explanation for unidentified anomalous phenomena, Harvard University. Researchers said about these UAPs that maybe they are not from another planet. Maybe they are beings of this earth which are hidden from us. They are hidden, concealed, non-human and have long-term presence on this earth. Concealed earthly beings. This is Harvard's phrase in 2024. While Islam is telling you this phenomenon 1400 years ago. And one more thing which is in Surah Jinn, ayat 8 and 9 and is very important according to Surah Jinn. Jinn said, and that when we touched the sky, we found that it was filled with the flames of fire and that we used to sit in some places to listen. Now whoever listens, he will find fire in his throat. It means that jinn try to access space and are stopped. And UAPs are seen coming from space. They behave in atmosphere. But is it a connection or coincidence, you decide? But there is one more thing which fits it all in a big picture, and that is the cosmology of Quran, which is not mentioned in serious terms in Surah Talaq ayat 12. Allah Almighty said Allah is the one who created the seven heavens and the earth is equal to them. So that you know that Allah is the all-powerful and that Allah's knowledge is all-encompassing. That is to say, the seven heavens and the seven earths. Ibn Kathir has written in this ayat that those who say that the seven heavens and the seven earths are just seven areas, they are saying something which does not match with Quran and Hadith. The seven heavens are in layers and so are the seven earths. That is to say, everything is in layers, in dimensions. And this is a cosmological statement which Islam gave. I find this concept very deep. If these are the seven earths and if in every earth there is a separate creation, then the concept of extraterrestrial life is not only possible in Islam, but Quran has laid its foundation. And now that ayat which explains all this in Surah Ash-Shura ayat 29, Allah Almighty said, and the creation of the heavens and the earth and the creatures that He has spread are among His signs, and He is able to gather all of them whenever He wills. Now here Allah Almighty has used the word dabba. That is to say physical, biological, moving creatures, not angels, not purely spiritual beings, physical creatures in the heavens. Abdullah Yusuf Ali, who is the writer of the most famous English tafsir. Do you know what he wrote in 1948? He wrote this in 1938 when NASA was not even there, when today's telescope was not even there. We read 17 rakat a day and we read Surah Fatiha. In every rakat and in Surah Fatiha we read, that is to say, the Lord of all worlds, not only the Lord of the world, not only the Lord of the earth, the Lord of every dimension, the Lord of every earth. Pentagon says we don't know, and Quran says from the first day, the Lord of all worlds, the one who spreads life in all worlds. Allah Almighty has said, and we gave honor to the children of Adam and gave them superiority over many creatures. Here the word kasir is important. That is to say, many, he did not say all, but gave superiority over many creatures. Now here the thing is, if extraterrestrial life is present, then Quran has already mentioned it. If the existence of extraterrestrial life is possible in this world, then we already know that before us, those who have lived in this world and are still there, and we are separate from their dimension. They can see us, we can't see them. And we also learn from the Quran. They can see us, we can't see them. And we also learned from the Quran that they fly in the air, they come and go, whom perhaps in the name of UAP, as an unidentified anomaly, that event is recorded. And we also know that if we talk about the concept of 7 heavens and 7 earths, then extraterrestrial life. Quran itself has said, and with reference to 7 heavens and 7 earths, we also saw that Allah Almighty is able, that wherever life Allah Almighty has given, He is able to gather everyone if He wants. I have been thinking about all this for a long time, that Area 51, Antarctica, UFO, fake invasion, preparation of Dajjal, Jinn, 7 earths. And everywhere there is only one thing that the world is looking for the answer, and the answer is not found. Governments release files and say that you search yourself. Scientists detect anomalies and say that there is unknown physics. Military spends billions and acknowledges that we do not know. But I notice one thing again and again, that whenever you open the Quran, the first question, every time you get it handled like before, what are the other words? Rabbul Alameen is there, life in the sky is man, the highest creation, many, not all. What are these hidden beings? Jinn al-Ghaib. And the answer to that question, no one has. Allah Almighty Himself in Surah An-Naml ayat 65 said that those who are in heaven and earth, they do not know the unseen except Allah. Trump's files 162 do not tell anything. Area 51 is still restricted after 70 years. And Antarctica is hiding the whole world, and the unseen is with only one, and that is Rabbul Alameen, the Lord of all worlds.